Hey, it's Squidly. I am currently in Bankhead National Forest. I'm here with a couple of new friends. Jeremiah Stringer, backpacking with Jason, and an, and an old friend. That's Crow from As the Crow Flies Hiking. And what I wanted to do on this trip is not really a trip report. I wanted to do a video on how to manage diabetes on trail. And because I'm not type 1 or type 2, I'm type 1.5, which I've mentioned before is a thing. I'm on oral meds and insulin, so whether you're type 1 or type 2, there might be something here for you to help you get some ideas on how to manage diabetes while you're out. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of document as I go along how I manage diabetes at meal times and maybe even between meals, depending on what my situation is through the course of the day. So I've already had breakfast. I had a big cup of coffee, and this morning I had my insulin, my mealtime insulin. The issue with mealtime insulin while I'm on the trail is I have to be careful in a way that I don't have to in my regular life. In my regular life, I just take the insulin I need for the food and then going about my day. Well, on the trail, it's a little bit different, and I end up taking about half the amount of insulin because I've got so much energy output. So I take my insulin, eat my food, and if I take a regular amount of insulin, I'm going to be dropping dangerously low within a couple of hours. And so I take about half the amount. So this morning, I have had, I started out with a piece of cheese because the protein and fat will slow digestion. So the time it takes for all these carbohydrates to get in my system, it slows it down. And for breakfast, I've had a couple of these strawberry breakfast bars. And this is a total of about 25 carbs each. So that's 50 carbs. And with that protein, that'll slow digestion. I've taken half my insulin, so I should be good to go for the morning. But I do carry some Snickers minis in case I do start to drop a little bit. I can have a Snickers mini as I go along through the morning to kind of keep my sugar up and not get too low before lunchtime.
That's the one I hadn't seen. That's great, Sid. That's awesome.
All right, we've stopped for lunch, and I am, I've checked my blood sugar, and by the way, I've got the, what's this thing called? The Freestyle Libre is what it's called. And so I can scan that with my phone, and it tells me what my blood sugar, so this thing's constantly checking it. I can check my blood sugar 100 times a day if I want to. My blood sugar has been just a little bit above where I would really like to have it. And so at lunch, I'm going to have very few carbohydrates. What I'm going to have is 2 packs of the Star-Kissed chicken creations. I've got buffalo and teriyaki. Haven't decided which ones I want, but they have almost no carbs at all. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of peanut butter. And at lunch, because I'm having almost no carbs at all, I'm not going to take any insulin. So far today, as far as my blood sugar goes, I haven't had any lows, so I kind of got my my insulin right. I'll continue checking my sugar and see if I need to supplement with any more sugary snacks. All right, so it's supper time, and I'm having my, you can't see it, it's dark. I'm having, it's the noodles from ramen without the flavor and French onion soup. I'll link it and let you see the video on how I made this, but it also has chicken in it. And I did the same thing before I ate. I did the same thing I've been doing where I took a half dose of insulin. And in just a little while, I'm going to, after I finish this, I'm going to take my my oral meds and my nighttime insulin. And again, I'll take a half dose of my nighttime insulin, and then it'll be off to bed. I'm going to break one rule tonight, because you're really not supposed to have food in your tent or around the campsite. It should be hung, but this is not bear country. There are no bears here. And so I'm going to have some emergency food that I will keep available to me. I'm probably not going to have it in the tent, but it will be available to me so that during the night, if I have a low where I bottom out, I'll have that food available to me. I've had this happen before where I bottomed out but did not have the food available. It was hanging, and it was awful trying to go get that food down so that I could get a snack and get my sugar back up. So I've started keeping some that was just close and available.